Whoopi, you know what's horrible? When people who shouldn't be here end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people.
No.
Say goodbye.
Jeaniene Pirro destroys Whoopi Goldberg on live television, and it caused an uproar on the set.
Okay, so I'm invited to The View to talk about my new book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy. And, you know, the publisher said, you want to go to The View? I said, of course I'll go to The View. I like Whoopi. I like them. I mean, I have no problem talking about my book. So I go there. And, you know, the first segment was relatively calm. And, you know, I got the transcript. And one of the things I said was, one of the things we need now, we need people to talk to people who ostensibly hate each other. It's time we sat down and had a conversation. And Whoopi, you know, interrupted and said, now? Oh, I'm so glad. But anyway, that was almost prescient. The second segment, after some small talk, I mean, we had, you know, I was making small talk. I was, you know, happy to discuss my book. Right? And then we came back and it was, you know, no holds barred. Whoopi got angry, and what the viewing audience, the television audience, didn't see is that they popped up the cover of my book as she pushed off the desk, you know, unplugged her mic, and then stormed off the set. So I'm there saying, you know, I'm in television. I said, I don't think the segment's over, but I think she just left, Jeaniene. I think it's over.
You know, that sounds a lot like a typical Whoopi. She often overreacts and takes it out on her guests who don't agree with her opinions.
You know what's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people. Say goodbye.
The newly coined term has been everywhere across the airwaves.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome.
This is truly the Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Goldberg expressed regret for what happened backstage.
I rarely get stirred up, but I got stirred up yesterday. I did apologize for getting hot. I said it doesn't happen often. Every 10 years, it seems.
That was abuse, and it was sad. It was a sad moment.
Did you just point at me?
Yes!
Listen, I don't have Trump derangement.
The situation is deplorable because every time she slanders Trump, Whoopi shows her real self who can't control her emotions and takes it out on everyone.
So I take off my own mic, and then you have to go down the stairs. I go down the stairs, and she's right there. And I said something like, Whoopi, you know, I spent my whole life fighting for victims because we had talked about rapes and all that. And she said to me, as she got up in my face, and I read somewhere someone said, well, you should have kept walking. I couldn't walk by her. She was at the bottom of the stairs. She says, F you, F you. And then I said, did you just say F you? And then she said, get the F out of this building, get the F out of this building. So I'm there, and I'm like, okay.
And you didn't do anything to provoke anybody there?
No, you can ask the people that I was with. I mean, she was nuts going off the set, and then when I walked down, and so as I started walking out the building, so this woman is yelling behind me, get the F out of this building. I mean, look, I've been a prosecutor, judge, DA for 30 years. I try murder cases. I can go toe-to-toe with anybody. But that was abuse. And it was sad. It was a sad moment that, you know, she was triggered. And I never understood triggering.
Did she reach out to you afterwards and apologize? I know she apologized to the audience.
She apologized to the audience, not for what she did to me. And they had no idea what happened when I walked off this set.
You haven't heard from anyone from
Yeah, no. A producer called, and yesterday it was nonstop radio and television. I was promoting the book. I haven't had a chance to return the call, but the producer did call.
Whoopi's aggravation went all over the internet, and guess what? Everyone was able to recognize this story as Jeaniene Pirro destroyed the fiery Whoopi Goldberg. It was an entire performance as she apologized to everyone for her truthful behavior.
So, I mean, what is this? Just did they hate the president so much that you were the person, you've been a supporter of him, so they're coming at you?
Well, you know, I certainly think that may be it. And, you know, I tried to answer the questions, just like you would answer the questions. And I said, you know, it's another audience. It's the ability to at least talk about some of the good things that the president has done and the problems that I talk about in Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, which is the corruption at the highest levels of the Department of Justice and the FBI. And I have hundreds of footnotes in my book. It's an easy read. I mean, don't get scared by the footnote comment. But, you know, I make it a clear, you know, it's clear what happened. Read the book. They didn't want to know.
I got a question for you. They're watching this over at ABC right now. If you were to look into camera one, what would you say to Whoopi Goldberg right now?
You know, I guess I would say to Whoopi, you know, I've always liked you, Whoopi, and I don't understand where the anger comes from. I went to have a conversation, and I wasn't allowed to have a conversation, and I didn't deserve to be thrown out. I really, we can't treat people like that. You just can't. We can disagree, but we need to be able to talk about it.
Guest co-host Ana Navarro threw the first punch as soon as the book's title was heard, saying, "I thought she was describing the Trump White House, liars, leakers, and liberals." Whoopi, in turn, picked up on this and created an uproar. Democrats see no boundaries at all.
Judge, have you ever thrown anyone off your set?
No.
When you ask someone to come on as a guest, I feel like you owe them the common courtesy, because a book tour is hard. You're going from place to place to place, and you're trying to speak to their audiences, and you're saying yes to invitations, and you have to make choices as to what shows you're going to go on. And for them to treat you that way, you're my family. I'm sorry that you were treated that way, and I think as a guest in someone's home,
That's
it's just
what
the
it
wrong
is.
way to treat someone.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
yeah. You're invited into their home, and you know, to be thrown off like that was really, it was disheartening. America is better than this. America is the place where you have free speech. But what happened yesterday was a microcosm of what's happening in the nation.
Yes.
And
Shout down and shut down.
yeah,
as
we don't
opposed
want to hear from you.
Yep.
All right. Once again, the book, brand new. It's what everybody's talking about. Leakers, liars, and liberals. Judge
Liars,
Jeaniene.
leakers, and liberals.
Leakers, liars, and liberals.
Liars, leakers, and liberals.
on the card. It's wrong on the sheet.
It is wrong on the card.
It's wrong on the card.
Not your fault.
All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Congratulations on the book. I'm
Thank
sure it's
you.
going to do even better now.
Well, thank you.
Everyone go buy it.
You know, Judge Jeaniene Pirro is an interesting person and guest who was able to stand up to those pushy hosts from The View. Pirro, a former judge, is an ardent Trump supporter. Earlier this week, she defended him for speaking at a joint press conference with Russian President Vladimir Putin, asking, what was he supposed to do, pull out a gun and shoot Putin? She showed everyone how people who are vehemently rooting for Biden are organized. What do you think about that? Write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.